meditation practitioner. She has a special place in her heart for kids and continues to volunteer for her daughter's respective schools and other organizations as part of National Charity League Living Beach.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, as Amy was telling you guys, I am going to give the same speech under my dynamic leadership pathway, but it is supposed to be improved. And I wanted to let you all know that your little notes to me last week really warmed my heart. They were so encouraging and affirming. So I really want to thank you guys. But it left me in a dilemma thinking, okay, how do I improve this speech? So how many of you would be up for a short, quick meditation demonstration after my talk? Okay, perfect. So this morning or this evening, I'm going to start a little bit differently. I think with a parable to demonstrate just the power of meditation. And it's an old African parable of the two warring wolves, the two fighting wolves. So there was a grandfather talking to his grandson on the front porch of their house, and the grandson's about 5 years old. And the grandfather tells his grandson, he's a wise old grandfather, and he says, you know, son, each and every one of us has two wolves inside of us that are constantly at war, they're constantly fighting. One of the wolves is full of greed, anger, fear, revenge. The other wolf is full of love, contentment, joy, peace, and understanding. These two wolves are constantly at war and they're constantly fighting. And the young boy paused for a minute and he looked up at his grandfather and he said, well, Grandpa, if these two wolves are always fighting, which one wins? And the grandfather looked his grandson straight in the eye and said, the one that you feed the most wins. And I thought that was an apt description of feeding our thoughts. So for many years, from when I was a little girl, I fed negativity. I fed the bad wolf every single day because my mom passed away when I was only 9. And we were so very close. She was the best mom in the world. And so the thoughts of fear, rejection, my life is never going to be the same, it's always going to be horrible, started out from that point on. I was resentful of all the other girls who had their moms to tell about their first kiss, their first love, their first crush. And then, 20 years later, when my daughters were only 3 and 5, their dad passed away, suddenly and tragically. And so those fear, anger, thoughts spiraled again. Each and every morning I would wake up and think, why me? Why is this happening to me? I would feed the wolf, the negative wolf, the bad wolf every single day. I would have these thoughts. I would have a pity party for myself every single morning. Then, several years later, I met my husband and he proposed to me. And I thought, this is a dream come true. But for my negative pattern of thinking, I thought, you know what, this can't work. This isn't possible for me to be in a healthy relationship and have a happy marriage. So soon after we were married, our trust was broken, and we separated only after 6 months. It was at this point that meditation came into my life almost by survival. I was at such a low point. I was ready to just throw in the towel and give up and move back to Texas when my good friend, Therese Benzie, she would not give up on me. She said, Vanessa, I want you to do one last thing for me. I want you to read and meditate on this Bible verse every single day. And the Bible verse was, whatsoever be good, pure, and true, lovely and admirable, dwell on such things. And instantly I thought, oh my goodness. It had never even occurred to me to dwell on the positive things. So just to be able to cope, I did as Therese said, every day I would repeat this verse, I would close my eyes, and I was able to remember all the happy moments that my husband and I had shared. The night that he proposed to me by surprise. It was the most magical night of my life. He got down on one knee, the waiter brought us champagne, and we were both crying. I was able to give thanks and acknowledge the fact that I had two sweet and amazing girls that were happy and healthy, that I was of sound mind and body and with a roof over my head. And so day after day after day, I repeated this, and I ended up feeding the good wolf. And do you know what? After only 2 weeks, my husband reached out to me. It was as if he could feel my energy of compassion, of forgiveness, of love. And had I not been meditating on this verse, I know I would have fallen into my negative trap and I would have said, leave me alone. But I didn't. I was open to his love. And we've been happily married 11 years later with our bond so much stronger than ever. So what I'd like to do now is share a simple, quick meditation that I do every day as part of the end of my yoga practice, and hopefully you can take from it what you wish and find that same inner peace in your mind. So David will dim the lights.